Mornings with kids can be chaotic and stressful. Getting them ready, make sure they got all their things, and not to mention getting yourself can be a hectic and stressful and not such a good way to start off your day. I have 3 grown kids of my own, so believe me, I get it and I have been there. I don't want you to give up, so I'm going to go over a couple of strategies here that are going to show you how to set your morning routines up for a peaceful, happier mornings so that both you and your kiddo can go off and have a great day. Let's make sure we are all on the same page. Those of you with kiddos under 7 know that kiddos under 7 are still going to need a reminder. It's totally normal. It is the developmental stage where they're in. Once they're over that 6, 7-year-old stage, they can definitely start taking some ownership of their morning routine. So the good news here is that these next 3 strategies are going to help you improve your morning routines for kids of any age. What does your morning routine look like now? Let me know in the comments what it looks like, things that you've tried that have really worked and made a difference for your mornings. At the end of this video, I'm going to mention a couple of things that clients that I've worked with have used to make their morning routines go smoother and better. When kids start their transition to their school day in a hectic, stressful, maybe upset kind of way, it shows that it impacts their learning. Remember, emotional regulation is a precursor to being ready to learn and start your day. So this morning routine becomes a big important part of how the rest of their day is actually going to go. Okay, number 1, tried and true. Make that morning routine as short as possible. Don't try and do 7,000 things in the morning. It's going to set you up for failure. Best way to shorten that morning routine is to actually start the night before. Having the backpack set up, supplies. I know some families have had their kids sleep in their morning uniforms. Setting up the lunch can save minutes of your morning routine, making a huge difference for all the things you have to do before you leave the house. More importantly, starting the night before eliminates any decisions you might have to make. Decreasing the amount of decisions you have to make during that short morning time really eliminates a lot of the stress that happens that morning. Here's a little hack for you. When first starting out with adapting this new morning routine, the adults in the room might have to do the evening part, at least in the beginning, right? Because we want the morning part to be as short as possible and as successful as possible. So to make sure we're successful, because remember, success breeds more success, the adults should start the night before, and you can do that along with your child, but eventually we're going to want your child to do the night before and the morning routine. Okay, this second one is just as important as the first one. Starting to include your child in what that morning routine looks like. So many times it's us doing, us telling, that our kids never get the opportunity to start taking ownership of their decisions, and then we're left like, oh, why can't they do anything without me? So this is a great opportunity for us to start involving them in their decisions. And getting them involved in the decision is a great way to get them to buy into us coming up with, let's set up a new morning routine, right? If they start having some control and decision making, you're going to see that they're going to be more invested in having that morning routine be successful. Here's a hack. Make sure that whatever you and your child decide to do for that morning routine is something that you can follow through with and have the time to make sure that all the steps get done. I want to set both you and your child up for a successful morning. Okay, sorry about this third one. You may or may not like it. The adults in the room may need to get a head start in that morning routine. So that might mean you need to wake up 5 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier, 30 minutes earlier, so you're in the right headspace and you get a jump start on your own morning routine so that you can be with your child while they're getting the hang of this new morning routine. So whether you are a working parent and you have to get yourself out the door, or you're a stay-at-home parent, you come home after drop-off, consistency is going to be key. And if there are other adults involved, that's my hack for this tip, make sure that they are aware of this new morning routine so that your child has consistency if it's somebody else getting them ready for the morning. Remember, in the beginning, it's going to look like a whole lot of effort on our part, but trust me, meeting your child where they're at is the best way to scaffold them which means we pull back our support so that eventually it can go from us doing this morning routine together. Eventually your child will be able to do it on their own independently. That's our goal, but we need to start off with the right support. Okay, so having a short morning routine, having input on the morning routine together with your child, and you getting up just a little bit earlier are all things you can do to set your child up for success. I have had families try things like setting up a music playlist. This was one of my favorite ideas. You set up a music playlist, and when a certain song comes on, you have to be ready and gone for breakfast. And when a certain song comes on, you have to be by the door and ready to go. I thought that was a great way to add some playfulness and fun to that morning routine. Some other ideas have been using some kind of a timer, having a check-in, check-out zone. I've had a family that's had some real success with having a checkout locker where the child would leave all of their things so they knew exactly where they had to go to get all of their things that they needed for their day. Every family that works with me in my programs is different, but this is the same exact framework that I use with them when trying to build a morning routine or an evening routine so that they have that connection and peace and, moment before they go off for their day. Now, having a growth mindset when it comes to your morning routine will definitely make all the difference. And I've got a video all about growth mindset right here. So make sure you watch that next.